organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up tonight on Daily Iowan TV.
From twirling gold to holding gold, Iowa's Golden Girl is now world champion. We'll share her story tonight.
And a full recap of President Sally Mason's last interview with the Daily Iowan. And in sports,
we have an exclusive interview with defensive tackle Carl Davis before the NFL draft.
You can see all of this and more.
Welcome to Monday's live edition of Daily Iowan TV.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Selena Carr.
And I'm Abigail Meyer. We begin tonight's newscast with some sad news. At 2 o'clock this afternoon, Ames police responded to a report of an unresponsive female in Friley Hall at Iowa State University. Unfortunately, when the paramedics arrived, the woman was already dead. At this point, police do not suspect foul play, but they are still investigating. Her name has not yet been released.
The Daily Iowan had its monthly interview with University President Sally Mason this morning. With the academic year coming to a close, Mason's final year as president comes to an end. Reporter Megan Coble has more.
The University of Iowa's 20th president, Sally Mason, announced her retirement back in January. But her dedication and pride aren't stopping anytime soon. With the university's academic semester coming to an end, she reflects upon the 8 years she has spent at Iowa.
I've had the pleasure of getting to know so many incredible people, whether they be faculty, students, staff, alumni, supporters of the university, people who care about the university because of the things that go on here. It's been phenomenal.
Mason also took pride in the latest renovation efforts after the damage caused by the flood of 2008.
I'm very, very proud and pleased to have been able to be president while we were rebuilding the campus from the flood.
For a full recap of the interview with President Sally Mason, grab a copy of tomorrow's edition of the Daily Iowan. Reporting from Iowa City, this is Megan Coble for Daily Iowan TV.
The final thief responsible for stealing over $13,000 of personal property from the UI dorm rooms earlier this semester has been caught. 19-year-old James Hua was booked at the Johnson County Jail this morning on 13 counts of burglary and theft. He joins his 2 accomplices who were arrested and charged earlier this month. They entered and robbed 12 dorm rooms in Quadrangle and Hillcrest residence halls in the early hours of February 1st. All 3 men are from Davenport and none are from the UI students. Their charges can carry punishments up to 10 years in jail.
Controversy sprung up at the University of Michigan in mid-April when a campus organization canceled the screening of American Sniper amidst protests from Muslim students. Blake Jorgensen took a closer look at some of the movies shown on the UI campus to see if there might be 50 shades of controversy. Check it out.
The UI Campus Activities Board shows weekly movies in the Iowa Memorial Union. CAB President Jake Murphy explained that they try to pick popular movies with wide appeal. This past weekend was American Sniper, and this coming weekend is 50 Shades of Grey. Both could be considered controversial, but Murphy said CAB planned ahead for any potential problems.
Just kind of get a feel for what they were thinking, how they, what offended them, but we're providing the movies that we think will be popular and the best entertainment that students want to see. And by doing that, we might hurt some people's feelings, but that's not our intention.
So you heard from the Campus Activities Board. Now let's see what some Iowa students think on the subject. The question, is 50 Shades of Grey appropriate for a college campus?
I don't really see a problem with it. If it's in theaters, I don't see why it can't be shown on a college campus for all adults. So,
I don't think it is. I don't think it's appropriate for anyone. It's kind of ridiculous.
Sexual assault is kind of being brought into the light on college campuses with that issue, and I'm not sure how maybe that could correlate with people's opinions. So I'd say, sure, yeah, it's appropriate.
So not a whole lot of controversy, and if you want to see 50 Shades of Grey, you know where to go. I'm Blake Jorgensen for Daily Iowan TV.
Well, Selena, today was definitely a lot warmer than it was last week.
Yeah, the weather was beautiful today, and I hope it stays like that for the rest of the week. Now, Cole Johnson is standing by in the weather studio with more on the forecast. Cole, how's it looking?
Well, guys, I have some good news for you. Tomorrow is going to be beautiful. To start off in this live weather forecast, tomorrow morning we'll see clear skies at 40 degrees. Thankfully, as we move into the afternoon, we will see a huge spike up to 62 degrees, which will continue on into the night where we will reach a high of 70. Taking a look at the rest of the week, we will continue to see those clear skies. Wednesday through Friday, we will see a high in the upper 60s to the mid 70s with a slight chance of rain on Friday. Once the weekend rolls around, we will get our first taste of summer. We'll have high in the upper 70s, possibly breaking into the 80s. Unfortunately, there is an 80% chance of thunderstorms on Sunday, but hey, it'll be good to give those Mayflowers some water. That's all I have for you guys here in the weather studio. Back to you at the desk.
Today, Maryland Governor Larry Hogan declared a state of emergency and activated the National Guard after violence erupted on the streets of Baltimore, Maryland. This violence comes the day of Freddie Gray's funeral, the 25-year-old who died from spinal injuries earlier this month. But his death became somewhat controversial after it was thought that his injuries were received while he was in police custody. The Baltimore Police Department reported that protesters were looting local stores and an area CVS pharmacy was set on fire after it was ransacked. The Baltimore mayor has issued a 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. daily curfew for 1 week starting tomorrow.
History was made today at our nation's capital as Loretta Lynch was officially sworn in as the new Attorney General, replacing former Attorney General Eric Holder. Lynch is the first African-American woman to take on the position, but receiving this role didn't come without any controversy. The highly publicized 5-month battle for her to get the position ended last Thursday when the Senate finally voted 56-43 to confirm her in.
Her outfits are gold, her hair is gold, and now Iowa's baton-twirling Golden Girl has won gold at the World Championship of Twirling and Majorettes in Italy. Daily Iowan TV's Mary Caldwell got a look at the life of Iowa's world champion baton twirler.
Our award-winning Golden Girl, Whitney Sekar Anderson. The University of Iowa proudly presents the Hawkeye Marching Band.
Whitney Sekar Anderson's life consists of twisting, twirling, and turning 2 batons while also keeping in step with the Iowa Marching Band's formations and beat. Did I mention she does this almost every weekend in the fall in front of thousands of people? This lifestyle isn't for everyone, but Whitney, Iowa's Golden Girl, wouldn't have it any other way.
The hardest thing I've had to go through is just prioritizing like my social life and baton life because it took a lot of practice to get to where I am today. I practiced in high school probably 3 to 4 hours every day and on the weekends even more. So I had to really learn how to balance my social life with that, and I didn't get to do a lot of the things that maybe everybody else got to do, which looking back I'm glad that I didn't because I couldn't be more happy to be where I am.
This Wisconsin native has danced, tumbled, and twirled her way to the top, and every competition she won became a building block for her to reach her ultimate goal, to get the coveted full-ride scholarship as the University of Iowa's Golden Girl. But little do people know, Whitney doesn't just wear gold on her uniform, she also wins gold in the national and international level.
All right, Whitney, so you've told us a little bit about yourself, but we kind of want to see what you've got. Can you show us a little something?
Sure.
Thanks.
Whitney will continue to prance on the field and into the hearts of every Hawkeye fan for the next 2 years. Reporting from the Fieldhouse, this is Mary Caldwell for Daily Iowan TV.
You know, Abby, I've seen her at the football games, and she's pretty amazing at what she can do.
Yeah, it definitely takes a lot of practice. Now, from the halftime performance to the game, Zach Mackey and Taylor Mathis are standing by in the sports studio with more as the NFL draft quickly approaches. Take it away, guys.
That's right, Abby. As we lead up to the beginning of the NFL draft on Thursday, we are giving you exclusive interviews with Iowa football's top prospects every day. I'm Zach Mackey.
And I'm Taylor Mathis, live here in the Daily Iowan TV sports studio. On Sunday, we caught up with running back Mark Wiseman, but today we turn to the other side of the ball as we sat down with defensive tackle Carl Davis.
The 6'5", 320-pound tackle received a 5.92 grade out of 10 on NFL.com, predicting him as having a good chance to become an NFL starter.
The Detroit, Michigan native is a powerful player and is known for his ability to be strong off the snap and use his hands effectively.
Laura Belanda sat down with Davis to talk about his football career so far and where it could possibly take him in the future.
I'm Laura Belandis, sitting beside Carl Davis, a former defensive tackle. He's a two-time All-Big Ten selection. He finished 2014 with 9 tackles for loss and 2 sacks. But beyond all of that, when did you start making it your goal to make it to the NFL?
I always wanted to play pro sports since I was a kid, and I didn't know where I was going to play. I actually grew up boxing and playing basketball, so I really had no clue that I was going to play football, but I always wanted to play pro sports of some sort.
What would it mean to you and your family and your friends and everything if and when you make it to the NFL?
It's going to mean a lot. It's definitely a milestone in my life and something that I've accomplished. But, once I make it to the NFL, my goal is to stay and play a long time and leave an impact.
Mm-hmm. And looking back at your career here at Iowa, what would you say is your very favorite memory?
My very favorite memory is probably the Pitt game this year. We came from behind and got the W. It was a great feeling, a special locker room, and that was Coach Ferentz's first time actually winning over in Pittsburgh.
So do you talk to any of the former Iowa players that are now in the NFL and get advice for them?
Yeah, I talk to guys like Mike Daniels, Chris Kirksey, Anthony Hitchens. Those are some of my good friends, and I talk to those guys all the time. So we stay well connected.
What kind of advice do they give you?
Just the same thing we've been doing. Just stay humble and just work hard. It's really that simple. For guys like us, we come from a tough program, and I feel like we can do anything.
And then you mentioned you went to the Combine. What was that experience like coming in there as an Iowa D lineman?
Oh, it was definitely fun. You get to be around some of the best defensive linemen around there, and you meet some of the other players at different positions. It's definitely a great opportunity and time to showcase your talents and also see other guys and see what they bring to the table.
Perfect. Well, good luck with the draft, and thanks for talking with us today.
All right, thank you.
Davis is currently projected to be a second-round draft pick, according to NFL.com.
After the Iowa baseball team's performance over the weekend, junior Jimmy Francos was named the Big Ten Co-Player of the Week.
The Park Ridge, Illinois native recorded at least 1 hit in all 4 games last week, hitting a .545 average with 3 RBIs and 2 runs scored. This is the first honor of Francos' career.
For more on baseball and how other teams performed over the weekend, let's toss it over to our Whip Around crew. Austin?
Thanks, guys. First things first, the Iowa baseball team stayed red hot once again as they continued their winning ways, picking up their 30th victory of the season here at Dwayne Banks Field this past weekend. The win also gave Coach Rick Keller his 750th career victory, and Tyler Payton was a bright spot on the mound yesterday as he went 8 1/3 innings, allowing just 1 run.
I'm Nicole Ray. The men's and women's golf teams both competed in the Big Ten Championship this past weekend in Indiana. The men's team was led by sophomore Carson Shockey, who fired a career-best 65 in his opening round, finishing at 4 under with co-champion title. The men's team finished 2nd overall. The women's team placed 10th overall, being led by Jessie Sindlinger, who shot a +10 and tied for 32nd. The men's team will head to NCAA regionals in just a few weeks. Now I'll throw it over to Jordan Maloney with info on softball. Jordan?
Thanks, Nicole. The Iowa softball team was swept by the number 12 ranked Minnesota Golden Gophers this past weekend. After weather caused a delay in the series, the Hawkeyes took back to action on Saturday with a doubleheader. The Hawkeyes couldn't seem to get their bats going, scoring no runs in the 3-game series. The Black and Gold start off May with a 3-game series against Northwestern in Iowa City. That's all for today's Monday Whip Around. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks for that, guys.
And that will do it for us here in the sports studio, but be sure to tune in to tomorrow as we have a one-on-one interview with an honorable mention All Big Ten offensive tackle who just might be drafted to the NFL come Thursday.
Selena and Abby, back to you at the desk.
And Scottie Pippen's daughter was arrested early Sunday morning here in Iowa City. The retired NBA player's daughter was reportedly urinating in the Sheraton Hotel lobby while intoxicated.
Police officers found Pippen close to the hotel and requested her participation in a field sobriety test. She refused to comply and accused the officers of being racist. She was released at 10 a.m. Sunday morning after posting a $500 bond. And that's all we have for tonight's live newscast of Daily Iowan TV.
Check us out tonight or tomorrow, same time, same place for your latest news, or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
I'm Selena Carr.
And I'm Abigail Meyer. Have a great night.